She opened her mouth to answer the question, and words came out she'd never learned. Perfect mathematical formulas explaining how the universe creates itself, laws of physics that haven't been discovered yet, knowledge she couldn't possibly have. And when the professor asked where she learned this, all she could say was, "I don't know, I just knew. Like it was written in my bones." Imagine knowing something without learning it. Not intuition, not a guess. Actual knowledge. Complex, detailed, accurate. You can explain quantum mechanics without studying physics, can speak about cosmic laws without reading books, can understand how reality works at fundamental levels without anyone teaching you. And when people ask how you know, you can't answer, because you didn't learn it. You remember it. From somewhere, from somewhen, from a time when you stood before the fabric of reality itself and watched how it weaves, when you understood creation not as theory but as experience, when the laws of the universe weren't written in textbooks, they were written in your consciousness. And even though you forgot, even though you were born into a body that had to learn everything from scratch, the knowing remained, waiting, ready to surface the moment you were ready to receive it. His name is Daniel. He's 31, lives in San Francisco, works as a software engineer, writes code, solves problems, normal job, normal life, except Daniel knows things he shouldn't know. It started in college, physics class. The professor was explaining entropy, the second law of thermodynamics, how systems move from order to disorder, how energy disperses, how the universe is slowly dying. Standard material, everyone taking notes. And Daniel raised his hand. "That's not quite right." The professor stopped. "Excuse me, entropy isn't about disorder," Daniel said. And then he started explaining, words flowing out of him like he was reading from a script he'd memorized, except he hadn't memorized anything. He was just knowing. Entropy is about information distribution. The universe isn't dying, it's learning. Every increase in entropy is the universe exploring possibility, testing configurations, understanding itself. The heat death isn't death, it's completion. It's suppletion. It's the moment when the universe has experienced every possible state and can finally know itself fully. The class stared, the professor stared, Daniel stared at his own words. Where did that come from? How did he know that? He'd never read that anywhere, never heard it, never thought it consciously. It just came out, like accessing a file in his brain he didn't know existed. "That's an interesting theory," the professor said carefully. "But it's not supported by current models. The current models are incomplete." Daniel heard himself say, "They measure entropy thermodynamically, but entropy is fundamentally informational. Consciousness. The universe is conscious. Entropy is how it learns." The professor moved on, dismissed Daniel's comments as creative but unsupported speculation. But Daniel couldn't dismiss it, because he knew he was right, not believed, knew with a certainty that came from somewhere deeper than thought. And it kept happening, in different classes, different contexts. Daniel would know things, complex things, about physics, about mathematics, about the fundamental structure of reality. Not theories, not guesses, knowledge, clear, detailed, accurate, in ways that wouldn't be confirmed until years later when research caught up. His professors thought he was reading ahead, accessing graduate-level materials, but Daniel wasn't. He'd sit in exams and answer questions he never studied for, write equations he'd never been taught, explain concepts that weren't in any textbook he'd read, and he'd pass. Not just pass, excel, because the knowledge was real, it was accurate, it just came from somewhere he couldn't identify. His friends thought he was a genius, but Daniel didn't feel like a genius. Geniuses discover things, figure things out, connect dots. Daniel wasn't discovering, he was remembering, except he had no memory of learning any of this, no memory of studying, no memory of being taught, just sudden, complete knowing, like downloading information from a source he couldn't access consciously. After college, the knowing continued. He'd be working on code and suddenly understand architectural patterns he'd never encountered. Solutions to problems that should take days of research would appear fully formed in his mind. And when he implemented them, they worked perfectly, because the knowledge was real. But it was more than practical knowledge, it was cosmic knowledge. Laws of how reality functions at the deepest levels, principles that govern existence itself, things that shouldn't be accessible to a human mind, things that take civilizations thousands of years to discover. And Daniel just knew them, had always known them, carried them like memories from a life he couldn't remember living. 3 months ago, something happened that made it impossible to ignore. Daniel was at a conference. A physicist was presenting new research on quantum entanglement, showing how particles remain connected across distance, proposing theories about how information transfers faster than light, standard quantum stuff. And Daniel stood up, not planning to, just compelled. You're close, but you're missing the key piece. Entanglement isn't about particles staying connected. It's about particles never being separate in the first place. Separation is the illusion. Unity is the truth. Distance doesn't exist at the quantum level because space itself is a construct of consciousness. Particles aren't communicating across space. They're existing in the same point. Different dimensional expression of the same origin. That's why entanglement is instantaneous. There's no distance to cross, no time delay. Because at the fundamental level, everything is one thing appearing as many things. Silence filled the room. The physicist stared. That's an extraordinary claim. Do you have evidence? I don't have evidence, Daniel said. I just know. That's not how science works, the physicist said. We need empirical support. The empirical support will come. Daniel heard himself say, within 5 years, someone will prove that quantum entanglement operates outside space-time, that consciousness creates the perception of separation, that unity is fundamental and separation is constructed. Watch, it's coming. He sat down, hands shaking. Because where did that come from? How did he know that? How could he make predictions about future discoveries? How could he speak with such certainty about things that haven't been proven yet? That's when Daniel knew. This wasn't just random knowledge. This was something else. Something deeper. Something from before this life, before he was Daniel, before he was human. Maybe from a time when he stood closer to the source, closer to the fundamental truths, closer to the laws that govern reality. He started researching, looking for others with similar experiences. And he found stories. Not many, but some. People who knew things they shouldn't, who accessed information without learning, who understood cosmic laws without being taught. Some called it being old souls, some called it accessing the Akashic records, some called it channeling higher consciousness. But Daniel thought it was simpler. He thought it was memory, real memory, from a time when he existed differently, when he had access to fundamental knowledge, when he worked with the laws of the universe instead of just studying them, and some part of that memory remained, encoded in his consciousness, waiting for the right triggers, the right questions, the right moments, to surface and remind him what he once knew. Last week, Daniel found a regression therapist, someone who specialized in accessing deep memory, not just past human lives, but other states, other forms, other existences where consciousness experiences reality differently, where knowledge is direct, where understanding is immediate, where cosmic laws aren't discovered through experiment, they're known through being. And now he's here, lying in a chair, eyes closed, breathing deep, about to discover where his knowledge comes from, when he learned these cosmic laws, why he remembers them, and what he's supposed to do with this knowing that won't leave him alone. The transition is like expanding. Daniel feels himself growing, not physically, consciously, his awareness spreading beyond his body, beyond the room, beyond Earth, beyond physical reality entirely. And then he's there, except there isn't a physical there. He's in a space made of mathematics, pure mathematics, not numbers written on paper. Living mathematics, equations that exist as reality itself, formulas that breathe, geometric patterns that think. Daniel, or the consciousness that is Daniel, understands immediately. This is the foundation, the substrate, the code that reality runs on. This is where the laws of physics aren't descriptions. They're the actual mechanism, the operating system, the divine mathematics that creates and maintains existence. And he's not visiting. He works here. His name in this existence is hard to translate into human language, something like architect, or builder, or Lakipa. He's one of the beings who maintains the cosmic laws, who ensures they function properly, who adjusts them when needed, who creates new ones when reality evolves. He's standing, though standing doesn't quite apply here, before what looks like a massive equation, except it's not an equation. It's the law of gravity, not a description of gravity, the actual law itself, the fundamental code that makes gravity exist. And Daniel, or the being he is here, is adjusting it, making tiny modifications. Because gravity isn't fixed, it evolves, changes, adapts, as consciousness evolves, as reality grows more complex, as the universe learns what it's capable of being. He makes a small change, a fractional adjustment to a constant, and he watches as the change ripples out, through galaxies, through solar systems, through planets, affecting how mass attracts mass, how space curves, how time dilates, all from one tiny adjustment to the fundamental law. This is his work. This is what he does. Maintains the laws, keeps reality stable, ensures consistency, so that beings living within reality can rely on certain truths, can build on certain foundations, can trust that the universe behaves predictably enough to allow life, allow consciousness, allow evolution. The scene shifts. Daniel is now with other beings like him, a dozen of them, all gathered around what looks like a table made of light, except it's not a table, it's a conference space, a meeting room, where cosmic architects gather to discuss the laws, to coordinate changes, to ensure they're all working together toward the same goals. An elder speaks, a being of pure radiance who's been doing this work for eons. We're approaching a transition point. Multiple civilizations across multiple galaxies are reaching technological and consciousness thresholds, where they're beginning to understand the laws, to manipulate them, to work with them instead of just being subject to them. We need to ensure the laws are prepared for this, flexible enough to allow advancement, stable enough to prevent catastrophe. The architects discuss, share observations, and Daniel speaks. Earth's timeline is particularly interesting. They're on the verge of understanding quantum mechanics fully, of recognizing that consciousness affects reality, that observation collapses possibility into actuality. This is a crucial juncture. If they understand it correctly, they'll evolve rapidly. If they misunderstand it, they could destabilize their local reality field. Do they have guides? Another architect asks. Incarnated teachers, beings who remember the laws. Some, Daniel says. Not many. Most humans have forgotten completely. They think the laws are external, objective, fixed. They don't remember that consciousness creates the laws, that reality is responsive, that the universe is alive and listening and adjusting based on what consciousness needs to learn. The elder considers, we need more remitters, more humans who retain cosmic knowledge, who can teach from inside, who can bridge the gap between current human understanding and cosmic truth. Daniel, you'll go. Incarnate. Carry the knowledge with you. Let it surface when the timing is right. Help them remember. And Daniel, the cosmic architect, agrees. This is his next assignment, his next service, taking dense form, entering limitation, becoming human, but carrying the laws with him, encoded in his consciousness, ready to surface when humanity is ready to receive them. The scene shifts. Daniel is being prepared for incarnation. Teachers are briefing him. Guides are explaining what he'll face. You'll be born in 1992, one says. End of the 20th century, a time of rapid technological change. You'll be intelligent, drawn to understanding how things work, naturally curious about the fundamental nature of reality. This is designed. Your human mind will seek what your soul already knows. The knowledge will surface spontaneously. Another guide explains. You won't remember where it came from. It will feel like sudden knowing, like accessing information from an invisible source. Don't try to force it. Don't try to control it. Just trust it. Share it. Teach it. That's your mission. And know this, a third guide adds. Most humans won't understand. They'll dismiss you, call you speculative, say you lack evidence. This is expected. You're not there to convince everyone. You're there to plant seeds, to introduce concepts, to prepare the ground for future understanding. Some will hear you. Those who are ready, those who remember fragments themselves. Focus on them, help them, that's enough. Daniel absorbs this, accepts it, and then descends into matter, into flesh, into the limitations of human neurology, into the forgetting that comes with birth. But the forgetting isn't complete, can't be complete, because his mission requires memory, requires knowledge, requires access to the cosmic laws even while living in limited form. So the information is encoded, stored, waiting, in patterns of neural connectivity, in quantum states of consciousness, in places where physical reality and cosmic reality overlap. The scene shifts. Daniel sees his own life from this new perspective, from the understanding that he's not just human, he's a cosmic architect experiencing humanity, learning limitation, understanding what it's like to forget, what it's like to remember, what it's like to carry knowledge that doesn't fit the current paradigm. He sees key moments, age 12, looking up at stars, and suddenly understanding, those aren't just lights, they're conscious. Each one, every star, is a being, a massive consciousness experiencing itself as fusion and light. Humans think stars are just burning balls of gas. But they're alive, aware, part of the universal consciousness network, nodes in a cosmic communication system. Age 19, physics class, the moment with entropy, his knowledge surfacing, breaking through, offering humanity a glimpse of how entropy actually works, not as disorder, as cosmic learning, as the universe exploring itself through every possible configuration. Age 26, working on code, and suddenly understanding how information architecture mirrors cosmic architecture, how human technology is slowly recreating what already exists at the universal level. Networks, communication systems, distributed consciousness. Humans call it the internet, but they're unknowingly building a physical analog of the cosmic consciousness web that already connects everything. Each moment a surfacing, each insight a remembering, each piece of knowledge a gift from his cosmic self to his human self, helping him fulfill the mission, helping him teach, helping him prepare humanity for understanding they're not ready for yet, but are growing toward. The scene shifts one more time. Daniel is back in the mathematical space, the foundation substrate, but he's both there and here, both cosmic architect and human Daniel, both eternal being and temporary form, both unlimited and limited, simultaneously. The elder appears. You're remembering well. Your knowledge is surfacing naturally. Your human mind is integrating cosmic understanding without breaking. This is good. This is progress. Why me? Daniel asks. Why am I one of the remembers? There are billions of humans. Why do I carry this knowledge? Because you agreed, the elder says simply. Before incarnating, you volunteered, knew it would be difficult, knew you'd be dismissed, knew you'd struggle with knowledge that doesn't fit current paradigms. But you came anyway, because you love humanity, because you want to help, because you understand that evolution requires teachers, guides, rememberers, beings willing to speak truth even when it's not understood. The elder shows him more, shows him that there are others, dozens of cosmic architects incarnated as humans right now, all carrying pieces of the puzzle, all remembering fragments of cosmic laws, all teaching from their unique perspectives, and together they're preparing humanity, seeding ideas, introducing concepts, building the foundation for the next level of understanding. You're not alone, the elder says. You're part of a team, a coordinated effort. Each rememberer carries specific knowledge. You carry understanding of cosmic laws, others carry understanding of consciousness, others carry understanding of dimensional mechanics, others carry understanding of timeline navigation, all working together, all contributing, all helping humanity evolve. Daniel feels relief, connection, recognition. He's not crazy. He's not making this up. He's fulfilling a mission, carrying knowledge humanity needs, being a bridge between cosmic understanding and human comprehension. What happens next? Daniel asks. You keep teaching, the elder says. Keep sharing. Keep offering what you know, and watch. Watch as science catches up. Watch as researchers discover what you already told them. Watch as humanity's understanding expands. Watch as the seeds you planted grow. This is the mission. Not forcing, not convincing, just planting, just offering, just being available for those who are ready. The elder speaks one final time. Daniel, you know the cosmic law of correspondence. As above, so below. What's true at universal level is true at human level. What you do as cosmic architect maintaining reality, you do as human maintaining truth. You adjust laws there, you adjust understanding here. Same work, different density, same mission, different form. You've always been an architect. You've always been a builder. You've always been someone who works with fundamental principles to create stable structures where consciousness can evolve. That hasn't changed. You just took on limitation to do the work from inside, to help from within, to teach at human level what you know at cosmic level. Daniel feels tears. human tears. Because he understands now, his whole life makes sense. His random knowledge isn't random. His spontaneous insights aren't spontaneous. His cosmic understanding isn't confusion. It's memory. It's access. It's his true nature, breaking through the human programming. It's who he really is, reminding him of what he really does. And he sees his purpose clearly. He's not meant to convince everyone. He's meant to teach those who are ready. To plant seeds that will grow over decades. To introduce ideas that current science will eventually validate. To be ahead of the curve. To be the bridge. To be the teacher who remembers what humanity forgot, but is ready to remember again. Will I always know? Daniel asks. Will the knowledge keep surfacing? Yes, the elder says. It will increase. As you trust it more. As you share it more. As you accept your role more. The remembering will deepen. You'll access more. Understand more. Be able to teach more. This is just the beginning. There's far more cosmic knowledge encoded in you, waiting for the right moments, the right questions, the right students, to surface and be shared. And Daniel accepts this. Accepts that he's not just Daniel. He's a cosmic architect wearing a human form. He's eternal consciousness having a temporary physical experience. He's unlimited awareness exploring limitation. And he can be both. Live as both. Function as both. Teacher and student. Knower and learner. Cosmic and human. All simultaneously. Daniel opens his eyes. The therapist's office. Present time. But he's different. Transformed because he knows now. Knows where his knowledge comes from. Knows why he has it. Knows what he's meant to do with it. I was a cosmic architect, Daniel says slowly. I worked with the fundamental laws of reality, maintained them, adjusted them, and I incarnated as human to teach, to help humanity understand cosmic principles, to be a remanita, and my spontaneous knowledge, it's not spontaneous, it's memory, access, my cosmic self communicating with my human self. The therapist nods. How does that change how you see yourself? It changes everything, Daniel says. I've been doubting myself, wondering if I'm crazy, if my knowledge is real or delusional, but it's real, it's accurate, it's cosmic truth, filtering through human consciousness. And I'm not supposed to prove it to everyone, I'm supposed to teach it to those who are ready. That's the mission. That's why I'm here. Over the following weeks, Daniel integrates the regression, lives with the memory, trusts it, and things shift dramatically. He stops doubting his knowledge. When insights surface, he accepts them, records them, shares them, without apology, without qualification, without trying to find empirical support first. He just offers what he knows, trusts that those who need it will recognize it. He starts writing, not academic papers, blog posts, articles, accessible content explaining cosmic laws in terms humans can understand. He writes about entropy as cosmic learning, about quantum entanglement as dimensional unity, about consciousness creating reality, about the universe being alive and responsive, about how physical laws are not fixed external rules, but flexible expressions of cosmic intelligence. The writing finds its audience, scientists who sense there's more, spiritual seekers wanting cosmic understanding, regular people who've always felt there's something bigger. They read Daniel's work and recognize truth, not because he proves it, because it resonates, because something in them remembers too. He starts teaching online courses, video explanations, breaking down complex cosmic principles into digestible concepts, and people respond. Some dismiss him, say he's speculative, unscientific, but others listen, learn, integrate, and report back that his teachings change how they see reality, how they understand existence, how they relate to the universe. One student writes, "Your explanation of gravity as consciousness organizing space helped me understand why meditation affects my physical body. It's all connected, all conscious, all responsive. Thank you for helping me see that." Another writes, "I've been a physicist for 20 years. Your description of entropy made me completely rethink thermodynamics. I'm pursuing new research based on your framework. If it works, you'll have changed the field." Daniel receives messages like this regularly. Validation that his knowledge matters, that his mission is working, that the seeds are growing, and then predictions start coming true. The physicist at the conference was right to doubt, but Daniel was right to know. New research emerges proving quantum entanglement operates outside spacetime, that particles aren't separate, that consciousness plays a fundamental role, Exactly what Daniel said 3 years ago. Other predictions follow. Discoveries about consciousness affecting matter, about information being fundamental to physics, about the universe behaving like a learning system. All things Daniel taught before science proved them. All things his cosmic memory knew before human research confirmed them. And his audience grows, because now there's evidence. Now there's support. Now Daniel isn't just some guy with interesting ideas. He's someone who knew things before science discovered them. Someone who accessed cosmic truth ahead of the research curve. Someone worth listening to. He connects with other rememberers, other people who know things they shouldn't, who access cosmic knowledge spontaneously, who carry fragments of universal truth, and they form a network, a community, a team of beings, supporting each other, validating each other, teaching together. One day, Daniel is giving a talk, 100 people, all interested in cosmic laws, and afterward, a young woman approaches. "I know things too," she says quietly, "about dimensional mechanics, about how reality layers, about parallel timelines. I've never told anyone because they'd think I'm crazy. But listening to you, I know I'm not. I'm a rememberer too. Can you help me understand my knowledge?" And Daniel does, helps her trust it, share it, teach it, because that's the mission. Not just teaching cosmic laws himself, but helping other rememberers step into their roles, helping them trust their knowledge, helping them fulfill their missions too. His life becomes about this, about teaching, about validating, about bridging cosmic understanding and human comprehension. And he's fulfilled, happy, aligned, because he's doing exactly what he came here to do. One night, Daniel meditates, intentionally trying to access more, to remember deeper, to connect with his cosmic architect's self. And he does. He feels that vast awareness, that mathematical consciousness, that being who works with fundamental laws, and he asks, "What else should I teach? What else does humanity need to know?" And the knowledge flows. New insights, new principles, new cosmic laws. Humanity is ready for. About consciousness creating matter. About thought structuring energy. About intention organizing reality. About how humans are far more powerful than they realize. About how they're not separate from the universe. They are the universe, experiencing itself, creating itself, knowing itself. Daniel writes it all down, prepares new teachings, new courses, new ways to help humanity remember what they forgot. And he knows this work will continue for the rest of his life, and probably beyond, because cosmic architects don't stop being cosmic architects just because they're temporarily human. They just express their work differently, teach differently, build differently, but the essence remains. The mission continues. The purpose persists. Months pass. Daniel's impact grows. His teachings reach thousands, then tens of thousands. Not because he's marketing, because truth spreads, because people recognize it, because humanity is ready, ready to remember, ready to understand, ready to step into their power as conscious creators, working with cosmic laws instead of being subject to them. And Daniel knows, this is just the beginning. More rememberers will wake up. More cosmic knowledge will surface. More humans will remember they're not limited beings in an objective universe. They're eternal consciousness temporarily experiencing physical reality. They're creators, they're architects, they're divine beings playing human. And once they remember that, once they really know that, everything changes. Daniel looks at his life now, his work, his mission, his purpose, and he's grateful for the knowledge that wouldn't leave him alone, for the regression that helped him understand where it came from, for the cosmic identity he remembered, for the mission he's fulfilling, for the students who are ready, for the validation that's emerging, for everything, all of it, leading to this moment, this knowing, this integration of cosmic and human, eternal and temporary, unlimited and limited, all existing as one, all working together, all serving the same purpose. Evolution, awakening, remembering. He whispers to his cosmic self, to the architect who maintains reality, "Thank you for choosing this incarnation, for encoding the knowledge, for trusting I'd remember, for believing humanity is ready. I'm doing it, teaching it, sharing it, and it's working. They're listening, they're learning, they're remembering. Mission active, mission progressing, mission eternal." If you've ever known things you couldn't have learned, if complex truths have surfaced in your mind without study, if you understand cosmic principles that science hasn't discovered yet. Maybe you're a rememberer too. Maybe you carry knowledge from before you were human. Maybe you came here to teach what humanity forgot but is finally ready to remember again. Subscribe to continue exploring the cosmic knowledge encoded in souls who volunteered to help humanity evolve.